2 thumbs down already. Well, you know what? Oh, I shouldn't say that. Not in the first 30 seconds. 5 people here. 2 thumbs down already. Do I really have 2 thumbs down on this? You know what? Screw them. I'm trying to do something here. I'm trying to desperately to get this file over, and it looks like it's working. So my friend Jason was going to come in, and we were going to talk about the GoFundMe for our friend Clint, who had a horrible, horrible accident. But he has to work early tomorrow, and he was up at like 4:45, 5:45 this morning. So we'll wait till we get a few people here. And so we pre-recorded something on here, and I'm trying to get it to play. Maybe they're Australian. So I'm trying to look at it here on my phone to see if I got the file saved. Let me see. Okay, it came over. I couldn't download it onto my computer. I had to actually send it to my phone. So let's I'm trying to maybe they're Australian. I don't get it. I don't get it. Matt's faction. Okay, so any rate, oh, 6 people here. Forest, sir. Is that an I? Forest slur. Forestler? Forestler? I don't get it. So, yeah, anyway, so Jared, you have Jared Dennis. Is Tammy here? Where's Tammy? Hi, Tammy. SLR. Of course, Dwayne said 2 thumbs down already. So, at any rate, what I was saying is I've got a really good friend who is his best friend is a mutual friend of mine. I got to meet him here a couple years ago. So, actually 2009. It's been a while ago. But at any rate, we did a video earlier because my friend Jason wasn't going to be able to come on. So what we're going to do is I am going to go ahead and I am going to give this solo layout, and I will let you guys see this video that I pre-recorded. Let me start it right now. So this is my friend Jason. Jason and I were we were on the USS Dubuque together. We've known each other for Jesus, how long now? Like 20, 26, 27 years?
Many, many moons.
Many, many years. Jason actually came. He helped clean up the area at my father's house. My father was real strict. We cut down a tree, and then I had to clean all that mess up the following day before I flew out.
That's good for you.
Yeah. But Jason's best friend, a mutual friend of mine, Clinton Bell, was recently in a horrible accident. And so, Jason, can you kind of just give us background on it? And then we're going to have a GoFundMe link in the description below so everybody that watches this can see it. They helped out with a bunch of GoFundMe. So,
well, little backstory about Clint. He is one of my best friends. I've known Clint. We met on the USS Cleveland, which I was on after the USS Dubuque, where I met you at. Mike had the pleasure of meeting Clint when we went out to San Diego back in 2009. But Clint is a great guy, super guy who he'll give you a shirt off his back, to go out. He'll go out of his way to help you. He's worked on my vehicles. I've got a business. He works on my vehicles a lot, helps people out, and just a super genuinely nice guy. Saturday before last, he was coming back from a meeting at work on his Harley, and he was stopped on the highway. There was a BMW in front of him, stopped as well, and there was a Dodge Ram ProMaster van behind him, and it hit him from behind. It never stopped. It was doing 65 to 70 miles an hour, and it pushed him into the BMW, and then the BMW into another car. The BMW spun out, and it continued to push Clint into a highway sign, and consequently, he had to have his leg amputated just above his knee. What else? He had an open pelvis fracture.
I remember you telling me he had like a complete open pelvis fracture.
Yeah. Luckily, there were 5 good Samaritans that stopped that stopped and helped him. Luckily, one of them had medical training. I believe, I don't know if she's a nurse or what she is, but she was Clint's angel that day. I mean, she was there at the scene, put a turn. The surgeon had said in his 11 years of being a surgeon or whatever, that Clint is only the second patient he's had with an open pelvis fracture or wound, because people bleed out before they ever make it to the hospital. And I mean, everybody on the floor at ICU there at Mount Carmel said that he's a miracle patient, because you just had an angel there, right time, right place. He was there at the wrong time, with that van, but that woman was there. She saved his life.
So you started a GoFundMe.
Actually, I did not. One of his fellow friends did.
Oh, okay.
And I've shared it on my page, and it's been, I don't even know how many times now it's been shared, but he works for a wonderful company. They're helping him out. But something like this is, I mean, this is going to take, at least a year for him to recover. I mean, he works a full-time job, and then he works on cars at night at his house or goes to people's houses. In fact, right now,
I've seen a lot of his Facebook posts, because I mean, I met him like 2 days, and I was like, oh, I really like this guy, and I knew immediately why you were friends. Like you and I were friends for years. And the second I met him, I was like, oh, okay, I see why him and Clint are such good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen his posts. Like, he's always working on cars and motorcycles and stuff like that.
Yeah. In fact, the motorcycle that he was riding, he built it from the ground up. And I mean, he's just got crazy talent. In fact, in his driveway right now is a Hummer that he had started on. They pulled the engine, and they were putting a new transmission in it, and it's pulled apart sitting in his driveway, and they were going to work on it on Saturday when he had his accident.
I've seen the transmission on a Humvee. That's not a small undertaking.
No.
No.
And one of the things they said that saved Clint was the fact that he's strong. I mean, he is a very strong individual, physically strong. And they said that's one thing that definitely saved him. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I'm going to send everyone that watches this tonight, since I'm pre-recording this, I'm going to send everyone I can to GoFundMe. I just recently did a GoFundMe for a knife maker in Louisiana, who just I don't remember if Jeff is in Louisiana or not, but at any rate, he just his shop got completely flooded by that hurricane that blew through. So
wow.
And I mean, it's a garage. It's like a 2-car garage, and I mean, it was clear to the bottom of it was from floor clear up to the top of the garage door, full of water.
Wow.
So, everybody's been sharing it and stuff like that. So hopefully I can get this shared and stuff. And like I said, I like Clint. I know you said his wife's probably going to watch this later. So
yeah,
as we watch it, I hope everything is going well. I know he's had a couple surgeries now, right?
To date, I know of 7.
I was gonna say I'm horrible about tracking stuff like that. I hate Facebook. I really do hate Facebook. I think
to date, I think he's
actually transmitted disease.
He had 3 surgeries. He was in surgery for 6 hours. The Saturday he was there, and he had 3 surgeries. I mean, his pelvis is fractured, so they had to put screws and rods or screws, permanent screws in his back, pins in his back. Of course, he's had, I think, 3 surgeries on his leg now. They have sealed the leg up. But he did have a complication. 2 nights ago, they had taken him out of ICU, and that night they had to put him back in ICU because he had some blood clots in his lungs. Yeah. So, I think overall he's doing pretty good now.
Well, Clint, if you're watching, Clint's wife, if you're watching,
Clint's girlfriend.
Clint's girlfriend. Oh, that's right. I remember he's divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was one of the points that we talked about that. So the night that the first time I got to meet you guys, or meet Clint, I should say, you and a mutual friend, Eric, and Clint all came over to my house, and we drank a lot of beer at my house.
And bacon vodka.
I had made bacon flavored vodka. It was good. It was so good. So good.
Didn't you have garlic vodka or something?
Yeah, I had garlic. Garlic.
That was nasty.
The garlic and chili it's only good if you mix it in like a Bloody Mary.
Okay.
If you do a double shot, like the bacon and the garlic and chili pepper, and you do a double shot and make your Bloody Mary that way, it's amazing. It's amazing. But drinking it straight, like you guys just didn't seem to enjoy it the way I did.
No, I guess it's the acquired taste.
Or lack of taste.
Jeez.
So, all right, bud. Well, it was good seeing you. I know it's late there. I know you're tired. You work hard. Yeah. Jason owns a landscaping company where they just basically do everything. You were trimming trees today, right?
Yeah. We cut down, first job, we cut down 4 trees and cleaned up. And then I went to my dad's and we trimmed 1 tree, two trees, 2 big trees today.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I will let you go, guys. Go find the FundMe. The GoFundMe is in the description below. So if you guys can't donate, I appreciate you share it as much as possible. And Jeff's for Tough Thumbs is still down there too. I know most of you guys donated, but share that one again as well, because like he's I mean, we set it for $60,000 because he's got a CNC mill. He's got a milling machine. I mean, he's a knife maker. All of his equipment was just underwater. So
we'll talk about the bacon vodka.
All the speed controllers for grinders and all that stuff just ruins so much stuff. So, all right, Jason, I will talk to you later. We should do sometime where we can all get together. I can do stuff like this where it's just private, and we could all just like get people together, like me and you and some of the other guys from the Dubuque. Speaking of which,
there you go.
Wearing my Duker shirt. So, all right, bud. I will holler at you later.
Sounds good. Talk to you later, brother.
So that was there's too many mics. Too many mics. There was an extra mic. So that was a friend of mine from my first ship, Jason, and that was a friend of his from his second ship, who was in a horrible car accident. So I just wanted to share that GoFundMe, and that is not PDM. So let me remove this. Stop that, and we'll open this up. So what's everybody doing? So bacon vodka. In case any of you guys were curious, bacon vodka is a thing that infused vodka was a thing that kind of came out here not long ago. I say that, but 2009, I was probably the last time I made it. And what you do is you just take a bottle of vodka. You take a bottle of vodka and you get something good, like Tito's is what I always use because it was triple distilled. And you crispy fry some bacon, like 3 slices of bacon, and then you get as much of the grease off of it as you can, and you shove it down in the bottle. I always like to just use a mason jar, and I would put it all in a mason jar. And that way you didn't have to try and fish it shit back out of the bottle. But what you would do is you'd soak it overnight or for a couple nights in the refrigerator, and then run it through a cheesecloth and a coffee filter to catch all the oil while it was cold. And then basically it infused the flavor of, it would infuse the flavor of bacon into the vodka. And it was good. It's really good if you're making a Bloody Mary. And I also did it with chili peppers and garlic. So you do those two, like for mixed drinks, it's actually pretty good if you get a little bit of a savory component. Now, you didn't get the salt or anything from in the vodka, but what you got was just like that essence of bacon. I already pictured you with a mason jar full of bacon and vodka, Mike. Thank you. I'm glad that that's the image that comes forth. So, guys, I don't know how long of a feed this is going to be. I have been fighting a migraine all day, an actual migraine this time, not like one of my seizures. I actually was on this love seat out here curled up with the garage door closed and the lights off because it was the darkest place in the house. And I just was out here curled up on the love seat, just sleeping. And so I'm feeling a little bit better, but I don't know, I'm really, really tired. So it's that time of year where just everything, every little freaking thing. Let's see there. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. Is somebody else doing Mark Herrera? Somebody else got a live feed or something going on that there's less people here than usual? Hey, damn it. I gotta ring that freaking bell. I really don't want to ring it. I'm afraid to ring it. All right. Oh, yeah, it's loud. It's loud. It's loud. That was half-hearted the first time. I found that Midol works great for migraines. You know what usually will kick a migraine? And I just did it. It's weird. I think it's the aspirin because it dilates the blood vessels, but Alka-Seltzer. Because I don't have actual aspirin here, but if I take an Alka-Seltzer, usually it kicks it. I took an Alka-Seltzer right before dinner, and I definitely feel better. But I'm just like, I work on movie days, off on migraine day. Movie day was fun. The only people who were there were, let's see, who was there? It was Cue Ball and Murky Ocean. I usually don't have a problem with the caffeine. I usually get enough caffeine. So while I was in the garage, and there's no light out here, it is dead dark, even the brightest day, because he's got this garage door really well insulated and sealed. And so when the doors close, there is no light in here. It looks like pitch black midnight in the country on a dirt road with no moon in this garage. And I was out here and I had the lights off and I was laying on the couch, and my wife came out and turned the light on, and I sat up on the couch. She was like, "When did you come out here?" I was like, "I've been out here for a while." So I scared the Nikes out of my wife. So, but movie day was fun. Cue Ball was here. We watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and then Nico logged in, and we watched. I sent him a link to it. I was like, "Well, I don't want to close it just in case somebody shows up, but I just want to sit and watch a movie by myself because the whole point of it was watch." So Nico and I watched. Quickly Down Under. So, but we watched two movies, and I was going to keep going if anybody had showed up, and Nico had to leave, and I was like, "Sorry guys, there's something on my screen." Nico had to leave, and I didn't just feel like sitting there watching it if I'm going to watch it, I want it on a full screen. So I got kicked out of Toys R Us when they were still open because I put Alka-Seltzer in my mouth and rode around on a hippity hop. I got kicked out of a Toys R Us in Hong Kong for riding around on a hippity hop. I just ran out of gas in the Forge and just happened to be live. Well, welcome, Matt. You watched Quigley last night? That's a good movie. Like, I forget how good of a movie it is. And it's free right now. It's free right now on Netflix. I am so tired. I'm having a beverage. Oh, story, Mike. I just told you I got kicked out of a Toys R Us in Hong Kong for riding around in a hippity hop in Hong Kong as a fucking adult. Yes, they kicked me out. I got kicked out of Weeby Toys and shit in a foreign country. So, it's not even 8 o'clock here yet. I'll go to sleep. If I go to sleep, it'll be at like 9:30. I'll probably end this and go to bed. And it depends on what we've got going on here tonight. Guys, I sent myself a picture. Hang on a second. Let me pull it up. You have got to see this. It made me giggle. Not that. Are you ready? I'm fine. Share screen, window, share. I'm just going to put that up there because I think that is hilarious. That is possibly one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. I got kicked out of McDonald's when they had the plastic salt shakers. You guys remember the little plastic salt shakers that went down and it had the one ring? We would go around and I showed everybody how you could just drive your thumb right through. Like if you took the salt shaker and you put your thumb on it and just smacked your thumb, you could drive that part of your thumb down and it would just open the whole top. And it was just a big thumb-sized hole in the top of the salt shakers. I did it a lot and I got kicked out of the Newcomerstown, Ohio McDonald's. And I was told that I probably shouldn't come back. So guys, you remember when people used to do shit like that? We used to go to fucking Friday night. We'd all hang out somewhere. We'd just go cruise. What is it? We fucking go cruise a place called the Plaza. Like I grew up in a tiny town. The Plaza, we just go drive around in a great big parking lot. Just driving circles around a parking lot where there was literally nothing but a grocery store, a pizza place, the movie theater. I think that was about it. And a Long John Silver's. What's center? What are you talking about, Dwayne? I was talking about salt shakers. We used to do so many dumb things. I used to drive all the way to Friday night, all the way up to Jesus, where did we go? New Philadelphia. And we called it it was New Philadelphia or Zanesville. We'd go and cruise the boulevard. And you just drive down, drive back, drive down, and drive back. And there were girls driving that way, and you'd meet up at the end in this big parking lot and make a couple trips around and then just drive all over town. And it was like, do you guys remember Dazed and Confused? And they were driving all over town and shit. And then they'd stop like we went to the bowling alley and hang out. I got drunk one time and pissed in a deep sink bowling alley because I mistook it for a urinal. And I was like, I'm pissing in this thing. And I looked down and I'm like, why is there a spigot on this? And I was like, well, that's a fucking sink. That's what I was saying. You just jam your thumb right through the top of it. Oh, I see what you're saying. It was like, it was just dumb stuff that we used to do. Almost had the cops. We would drive all over town, and you'd wind up running into some people and custom EDC knives. How's it going? I've been fighting a headache all day. We're going to see how this stream goes. Hey, we used to just do stuff like that just for fun. That's it. Guys, Friday, we have a serious fun one coming up. Aaron Frederick from Frederick Knives, Trash Panda Knives, is going to be on, and Aaron is my spirit animal, and he's a big inspiration as to, like, when you guys hear PDM, I pretty much have based PDM that you guys see, like the actual PDM that you guys see. I based him on Aaron Frederick. You'll see that he is PDM, like he is truly the basis for PDM. Like PDM's an actual thing, but he sounds and looks and acts just like me. Aaron Frederick is who I decided PDM needed to look and sound like. Matter of fact, if you were to go find Mr. Frederick's Instagram profile, you'll find a picture of him wearing a cowboy hat going, which is the reason that's how the PDM shirt looks, because I was like, well, if anybody's going to be PDM, it's got to be Aaron Frederick. Like if I was ever casting someone to be PDM, I would hire Aaron Frederick to play PDM. So it's going to be fun. He's fucking nut. So I told the Knife Nuts guys, I'm sorry, I am so tired. I woke up with a headache this morning at like 4:30 and just didn't get rid of it until here just recently, and then decided, hey, my head's hurt all day. Let's have a big glass of alcohol. Well, as we've established, and I said it in the knife video about the double shadow dagger that PDM got me for my birthday, high school is when PDM really was conceived. Like I was not, as my father would say, he's like, what happened to you, boy? I see you turned 13. Did the blood flow to your fucking brain stop? What the fuck happened to you? If you never stop drinking, the hangover can't get you. I'm going to tell you guys, everybody's like, oh, it's the sugar that's in the beer that gives you the hangover, and it's this, and you've got to drink water. You know what? I disagree. I'll tell you what causes hangovers. I know exactly what causes it. I know by what mechanism a hangover is caused. Sleep. You don't get a hangover if you don't go to sleep. If you just quit drinking, you never get the hangover. Sleep. That's the key. Just don't sleep. Just keep drinking. It's not the not drinking. It's the not sleeping. Just don't sleep. It's just not fucking, my dad had to come pick me up at the, oh, I'm not drinking that much. My dad had to pick me up at the jail that night after I got caught dropping bullfrogs on the, Jesus, he was so mad. The only other time I saw him that mad was when I bought cigarettes at a store in front of him. I was 15 and I bought a pack of cigarettes, and my old man watched me do it. And I see him go like this. He goes, I'm a fucking cop, right? You know that you getting in this car and you purchasing cigarettes right in front of me has violated a state law. And I could get in every bit as fucking much trouble as you could, And I'm like, I didn't think about it. He goes, yeah, you never think about a goddamn thing, boy. Get in the fucking car. That's the last pack of cigarettes you're going to smoke. He was so wrong. My shoulder still hurting? Yeah. As a matter of fact, it's so weird. I can't, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I picked up my pew from the garage to take it in the house with me and proceeded to drop it on the fucking concrete because I didn't have a grip on it. I thought I had it. So I don't know what's going on. Oh, that was horrible. I was a cop's kid in a small town. Jesus. He would tell the story about the time that he caught me making a bomb in the basement. Did I tell you guys that story? I feel as though that's one I should save. That's a good one. Something stinks. Guys, my neighbor. Oh, that's a good one. I told my wife and she's like, great. That stinks. You could have just not told me about this. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you needed to hear this. The neighbor comes over and tells me this morning, he goes, hey, he is a customs agent at the border. He inspects vehicles for drugs and stuff like that. He's one of the guys that finds drugs on vehicles and cars and shit. Tears cars apart, finds nice little hidden spots where they hide people and drugs. And so he comes over and he goes, hey, last night my dog was going ape shit at the back door to the patio. And he's like, I wanted you to know because you've got a dog too. He's like, I was telling the neighbors over here to have little dogs. He's like, so I couldn't figure out why the dog was barking like crazy. And I said, so I got my gun, I got my flashlight. And he's like, I turned the light on and I shine it. He says, there's a goddamn mountain lion on my kid's fucking trampoline. And I was like, okay. So I'm out here with this garage door open and I smell something. I'm like, what do mountain lions smell like? That's exactly what thought just went through my head. And I had to tell you that story. I'm like, thanks. And my wife's like, why would you tell me that? Now I'm scared. I'm like, because I want you to know that when you put the dog out, to turn the light on before you just up and look out at night and just let the dog out. Just make sure there's not a fucking 4-foot tall cat in our yard. We want to know where and how people fit all that crap in the radiator. Yeah. So I bet he has some great stories. 1 minute knife reviews. How are you, sir? Shop mountain lion. No, we're not going to play that. I literally, like, that whole story of him telling me that ran through my head. I was like, something smells, because it smelled like an animal, kind of like a dirty animal. I was like, which is why the pew goes out in the garage with me now. Mom caught me sneaking in school, walked me to the principal's office. He took a look at me, said, I can't punish you any more than she can. Yeah, my mom, oh my God. My mom was famous for giving you a knife, telling you to go cut a switch. And then she would beat you viciously with a switch until she was tired, sweaty, and then she'd look at you with your blistered little backside, and she'd look at you and be like, wait till your father gets home. And I'm like, fucking why? What? Like, I want to get it twice? Like, I got to deal with that too? What the? Cheers, guys. Cheers. It's already 8 o'clock here. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. My mom told me to go cut a switch one time, and I went out to the yard with the knife, and I didn't cut a switch. I found a big stick that I didn't think she could swing, and I brought it back, and she beat me with it till it broke, and then said, "Now quit fucking around and go get a real switch." And I was like, oh my God. Like, you beat me with that till it broke, and now you want to beat me some more? Then again, I did earn every bit of that. Well, Mr. Clemlark, I always want to call you Clarkman. I've got dyslexia, and that's what my brain does. Clemlark, Alec Clemlark. So, guys, if you have recently joined, you will start seeing your name come up in the scroll ups. Am I having a guest tonight? No, I don't have the energy for that, really, to tell you the truth. I had a couple things I was going to show you guys. I wanted to, hang on a second. I wanted to show you I wanted to go to Cold Steel's website. That's what I wanted to do. And I wanted to scroll through some of it. Oh, that sucked. When you thought you're being smart, choosing a switch, those hurt you more. My mom beat me with an extension cord one time. I don't think I earned that one. She felt bad about it later, but I honestly don't think I had that one coming. Now, the time that I brought a poisonous snake home in a cooler and let my mom find that there was a live venomous creature in the cooler when she went to go wash out the cooler that I had taken fishing that day, that was one. I'm surprised she didn't fucking shoot me. My mom told my dad what happened, and I was out in the yard, and he goes, boy, he said, yeah, close you come to being shot today. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, I wouldn't put it past that woman to shoot you. And he's like, you know how good she is with a gun. She could have shot. I was like, sorry. The Weed Deacon. I have not, but I have a knife. I have a Wee Knife Company knife here that I don't like at all. I do not like. I don't even know if I'm gonna do a video about it. I may, just because I honestly am surprised. It's the first Wee Knife Company knife that I've ever tried that I just didn't like. Like, I really don't like anything. I don't like it at all. And I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just me. It wasn't just a hand thing. I showed it to my buddy Tina. He goes, yeah, I don't like that. And I was like, huh. Let's go ahead and share this. I wanted to look at something because I haven't looked for a long time. So you guys are going to have to help me. I want to see how much different are the prices on these now. I don't remember. Like, I don't see these as being, oh, damn it. I don't see these as being that much more expensive than they were before. So how much more expensive? What are these? What is this? Okay. What is that? What is that? I just said it's the kite fin. What are those? What is a click? Oh, now I got to find out. You need another mod to show up. Why? What's up? What is somebody? Do we need more? Click and cut. Okay, well, now I gotta. Click and cut caping blades. Well, what is a? I don't see the actual knife though. Where's the actual knife? That would have, see, it would have made more sense to me if I'd seen the actual click. Okay, I see what we got going on here. It's like, it's that kind of a deal. Oh, hey, Spike series. They still make the spikes. This is the knife I was telling you guys about. This is the knife I was telling you guys about. The one that I always say that I wish I had not gotten rid of. Like, I can't justify buying another one, but I wish I'd never got rid of that. Knife was a lot of fun. You need someone to, yeah, I can't see them. I'm not in on actual YouTube. So those are on Amazon for cheap. Hang on a second. I'm trying to YouTube. Turn the volume down. I might be able to. My videos. Most. I'm trying to get in, so I can actually. I'll try and make a couple of you guys moderators. If I can get into my channel, I do believe I can. Snuz, you're a moderator. Hey. And Aiden, you're a moderator. Wield the wrenches with damn it, I thought we were friends. Guess what? Spitfire, you're a moderator. There we go. You guys don't have to do anything special. Glyco, you're a moderator. Moderators everywhere. The more moderators, the more better. That's the way that's what I think. Son of a, yeah, see? I mean, it's not like you got to do anything. You just got to, like, if you see something that you don't think should be up on a screen, take it down. If you see something that should be up but isn't, then you put it up. Yeah, but I had that knife and Yay, welcome to the mod squad, fellas. Awesome. You get a wrench and you get a wrench. Everybody gets a fucking wrench. You're a mod and you're a mod. Okay, guys. I typically stay away from current events and politics. And this isn't like a politics kind of thing, but did you guys see Rose McGowan talking about, like, I'm not saying it didn't happen. She was talking about stuff with the Clintons and stuff like that happened, right? And I'm not saying it didn't happen. All I'm saying is that if you go find a video of her talking with, I think she was talking with Tucker Carlson, she sounds fucking sane. Nuts. Psycho. I'm not saying what she's saying didn't happen. I'm just saying it's the way she's going about saying it makes her look insane. So I'm all about standing up for your rights. Didn't she date Marilyn Manson? Yeah, that's there we go. That's the knife that I wish I hadn't gotten rid of. Double Agent 2, yeah. I don't like the mini tack buoy. I have a mini pal that I got for my daughter that she doesn't ever carry. She's scared of it. I still don't. I'm looking. See, okay. So now I'm looking for that click then cut thing. Snuzz, you can find it on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube. And I was watching it, and it was like I'm watching it and I'm like, it's like watching a train wreck. It's like watching a train wreck. Like you don't want to watch it, but you just can't look away. You're like, I don't know how I feel about this. What are we talking about, Glyco? We're not going to talk about anything with we're not going to talk about anything with the jab or any of that stuff. And that was just that was my take on it. I was like, what the? I feel with both hands. Cole Steele, click and cut. Yeah, I'm curious about it now. Bark River JX4 is close. Blades and Fades. How's it going, buddy? You know what I'm trying to figure out, guys? Like, my channel was doing really well there for a few weeks, and then now all of a sudden my views like just went back to shit. Like, they went here. Let me see. Can I let me pull something up here. I was like, what has occurred? What is that? Why does this never do what I want it to? You know what we used to say in the military? To err is human. To truly fuck up, one must use a computer. Ha! Click and cut is cheap, replaceable blades. Thick, and I think you OS 8. Let me see here. I'm just still curious. Like, I don't know if people just aren't getting notifications, if that's what's going on, but like my videos are getting like 70 views again. Like, we're back to where things were months ago. And I'm like, what is fucking going on here? Where's my thing here? Yeah, it's bad again. It's bad again. I don't know. Okay, so there was a knife that was similar to that. Here's the thing. I don't know how to make a playlist, and you guys can binge at night. But what you can do is you can go to my channel and hit play all, and then just skip. Man, it's hot out here again. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the weather changed or what. If they click the bell, they should be getting notifications. That's not true, because I have the bell set for everything that Jared puts up, and I never get a notification on Jared's channel. I have not gotten a notice. Well, you have to spend some time in your analytics, but like I don't ever get notified of Jared putting up anything. Not even live. I just know when his live. I know when he is live. That's all I know. But like, I'm trying to find it here. Neves Knives, subscribed, cancel that. Where's it at? Here, see, look, subscribed, and the bell is set for all. I don't know, but I haven't gotten a notification from Jared's channel in literally weeks. So, no. Okay, so you have to look at your analytics. You have to look at them like daily. You just can't look at them. What I'm saying, stay out of your analytics, means like don't be in your analytics like all day. But that's like I usually what I do is I look at them first thing in the morning, and then I look at like just the performance of a Premiere video, just because I need to know how a video performed. Did you guys like that video? If not, why not? And if you guys are not telling me things you do and don't like, then I can't change anything. So if there's stuff you guys want to see or shit that I'm doing that you want to see less of, by all means, tell me that. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Like, hey, Mike, I didn't like this video. Here's why. Now, here's like, Mike, I didn't like this video because you suck and, you know, you sleep with donkeys and stuff like that. That's not constructive. That doesn't work. But yeah, I am not subscribed to Fox News, and I get notifications when Fox News put stuff up. I'm like, what is? I guess I am subscribed, but I'm not. I don't have notifications set. But the channels that I have stuff for notifications set, I'm not seeing. I don't know. So I mean, well, you probably had notifications set up somehow. I already have. I've unsubbed and resubbed to Jared's channel. What did he put up today? Yeah, see, he didn't put anything up today. I need to call him, make sure everything's okay. Jared went a day without putting up a video. I hope he's okay. I got a notification from a channel I saw one video from. You know, the other thing that's weird is you'll watch something that's like out of the norm of things you watch. Like I watched something, I don't even remember what it was here a few weeks ago. No, because I have my notifications set up because I have all those notifications of things that popped up. So I get the bell icon. I didn't get a notification about Jared at all today. And I was like, oh, that's because Jared didn't put up a video today. But I have notifications set up. I just don't have so I get a notification, but it doesn't like, I get a silent notification. It shows up on my screen. They push people to where they're making the most money. Well, I know, but the whole thing is notifications are notifications. If you have notifications set up, they should send you notifications. Yes, you should. You should do that. That would be great. Somniome said that he has got a bunch of stuff that he wants to do for the 10,000 sub mark. So if I can get to a 10,000 subs, there's a lot of stuff, and it's not going to just be for the paying members. I do pay okay. So I wanted to touch on this. I got a couple messages where people are like, well, I'm disappointed. The after shows, I have been making at like 8 or 9 o'clock the next morning. I've been making them for the paying members only as exclusive content. So we have the podcast on Friday, and then we have the after show, and then I leave it public until like 9 o'clock the next morning when I get up. And then I make that exclusive content. Everybody has had, a few hours to watch it. Everybody knows that I do it pretty much every Friday. But the thing is, like, I got some complaints like, well, that's crap. Like, why I was in the middle of watching it, and then I came back and it was exclusive content, but I'm disappointed. I'm like, I get it. You're disappointed, but I also have promised exclusive content to the paying members. And so it would be, like I get people are like, oh, well, I've been supporting you since 2000, 2009 or 2007 or 2010 or 2014. And I'm like, that's great. You say you've been supporting me, but when I look back, I'm not going to call anyone out, but when I look back at the people who truly have been supporting the channel, it's paying members. It's people who have been doing super chats and things like that. They're truly supporting the channel. And for me not to give back to them would be unfair. But Aiden, you have access to it. Now, will those come back and be public again? Yeah, probably at the end of the month. Anything that I've made private, I will probably make public at the end of the month, except sharpening tutorials, things like that. So I think it's kind of selfish for some people to begrudge the people that are really, really supporting the channel a lot the stuff that I'm doing for them. I'm doing giveaways for the paying members. And it's not that I'm just trying to set the paying members out and like, oh, you won't get any content unless you're a paying member. No, the paying members truly don't get that much when you look at it. For what they're paying, they really don't get that much. I just appreciate the fact that they do it. So I try to do stuff for them. So they get a little bit of stuff, really, in the big scope of things. Uh-oh, Rubicon's here. Yeah. Well, here's the other thing, Snuzz. Ring a couple. Actually, I have a bell now, an actual bell. I do owe you guys some sharpening video, and it's not just because of the shoulder and things like that. There's things I could do. I can't figure out how I'm going to get it filmed. I bought a little gooseneck thing, and it doesn't get me where I want to be to do it. I don't know. I'm going to try it again this week. I don't know how much stuff I'm going to get filmed. Like I said, I lost all those videos, the source files. What happened was that I was writing to and from the computer back and forth. And when the computer crashed, it corrupted. So the files are there, but there was something wrong with them now, and the computer wouldn't read it. So I lost like 7 or 8 videos worth of stuff. And so I've been slowly but surely refilming stuff, but it just sucks. I don't like refilming a segment, let alone an entire 15 or 20-minute video. So I'm doing it, but you guys have got to be patient. I really hate refilming stuff. So I have not gotten to film anything. I filmed Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I filmed Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I didn't film anything yesterday. And I didn't film anything today. And the soonest I'm going to be able to film anything is probably... Wednesday? No, I got to take my kid to school Wednesday. I got stuff with my kid on Wednesday. I might not be able to film. There may not be a Friday video. I don't know. It depends on what I can get done. I've got stuff I want to film. I got stuff that I already filmed once. I've got videos going up. So I don't know. It's just backup to a backup. Okay. So, that sucks, dude. Had it happen before it blows. Here's $5. Now get back to work. Thanks. 5 fast fix blades. That's the plan. It's just, do I have time to do it? So I was down all day today. I had to take my kid to school. Tomorrow, I'm going to be at the ice rink with my daughter. I'm like, that blows. That sucks. Had that happen. Here's $5. Now shut up and get to work. So tomorrow I'm going to be at the ice rink with the kid. And Thursday, I'm going to be at the ice rink with the kid. So it's really hard. I mean, my wife's been taking extra shifts because they're shorthanded at her job, because somebody just decided to quit. So it just sucks. It sucks. And I don't. Now, here's the thing. What is today? I think tomorrow. This is the big one. I think tomorrow. Go by the post office too, Mike. It's on the way. Yeah, I know. I got to send you your knife. Fuck. It was supposed to go out Friday. And I fucking forgot until you just said it. It's still on the shelf. I still have to get everything set up for the giveaway for the other one. It's just, like I said, guys, it's hectic because I have other stuff that takes up, because I can only film during the day. It's not, even though it looks like it here, to try and film a video and have it look the way I want, I have to do it during the day. Now that's going to change because I have some new lights that are coming that I'm going to be able to use, and I'll be able to film pretty much anytime I want. So those are coming. I have 2 LED drop lights that I'm gonna get a diffuser for. So it's been post office. What am I doing tomorrow? It is not. The post office is not on my way. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite way. I'll see if I can get it. I have to leave here. To take my daughter, and then problem is it's like 30 or 40 miles away. It's 80-mile round trip, I think. Maybe 30, maybe 60, 25 or 30 one way. At any rate, I might not make it back in time for tomorrow's premiere because I'm going to be in the car. It usually takes us about an hour and 15 minutes ish to get back. So a lot of times I'm walking in the door just as the video is premiering. So I got you, Snuzz. I got your address and everything, and I've got it written down. I just didn't put it in the box. I'm looking at it. I can see it from here. It's still there. I wouldn't screw you on it. So, but yeah, it's China. Car internet is doo-doo. Yeah, I imagine. Does your car have Wi-Fi in it? Fucking what's happening, beautiful people? Where are you watching the same stream as everyone else? Guys, I have a USS Dubuque LPD-8 shirt. My first shirt, my first ship. I have it. I have a Zippo lighter from there too. Mike's Cabbage Patch. So, man, that's fucking. I'm trying to see. So what I'm looking at, and I can't show you because I can't blur the stuff up. Is I was telling you, like, for some reason my views dropped off. They went from like 2,000 every 48 hours to I'm under 1,000 for the last 48. So I don't know. I don't know if my channel has been, I don't know. But then my subscriber count goes up and then it goes back down, and then it goes back up, and then it goes back down, and then it goes up and it goes down and up and down and up and down. That's why I said stay out of your, close that, Mike. Close your analytics and stop looking at it. It'll make you crazy. Jeremy, how's your back, Jeremy? Are you feeling better? Out of curiosity. It was the Shop Nako video. I've been doing Shopcat videos. And Shopcat isn't just Shopcat anymore. You guys want to see something funny? Here. I put it up on Instagram. I don't know if you guys saw it. So last night, I went into, let me send this to my, so last night I went in and the cat and the dog were like laying down, and like the cat had the dog's paw right there, and they were laying there both asleep, and the dog woke up and looked at me, and I was like, are you guys holding hands? And I was like, I gotta videotape this. And I was like, I gotta videotape this because it's so cute, because the cat literally had the dog's paw like in between her paws and was fine with it. And then the dog woke up and moved her hand back, and the cat was reaching out like, where are you putting your hand? Where are you putting your hand? Well, the cat, then the dog was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Put her paw back, and the cat was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why'd you move? I was like, hang on a second. I'm sending it to my computer. Stomach hurts. My wife made one of my favorite things. Okay, hang on. For supper last night. Or for supper tonight, I should say. One of my favorite things. So it's called omrice. So it is red chicken. It's fried rice, like chicken fried rice. The red fried rice. So it's got like tomato in it. So it's like a tomato-based fried rice with chicken and peas and carrots and corn all in it. And then it's wrapped inside a really thin just omelet. So she puts the eggs down real thin, puts the stuff in the middle, and then folds it over on top of it, almost like an egg-shaped taco. I wish I had taken pictures of it. She made that shit, and it was delicious. But I've got heartburn. That's one of my favorite things she's ever made. There's a couple things she makes that the other one is her gyoza, the fried dumplings. She makes them from scratch. Hers are amazing. All right, so you guys have to see this. You ready? It is hilarious. All right. So like I said, you can see that they're laying there together, right? So watch this. This is how they were, and then all of a sudden,
Were you holding hands a minute ago? Were you? Yeah, just a second ago. Ah, why are you gonna turn it down? She didn't do anything.
I just told you, the fried dumplings. That's my favorite. Actually, to tell you the truth, my favorite is just really good rice. Like really good rice, just plain white rice. If it's cooked perfectly, like super high grade rice, it's delicious. Just rice. I'll eat 3 bowls of rice. What did Aiden say? Or Jeremy say? I still have issues sitting in a computer chair, but I got on the driver's seat and drove Saturday for the first time since before Memorial Day. Holy crap. Okay, good. No, just good, plain, well-cooked white rice. It's amazing. So, yeah, I got the picture of it and I was like, oh, I mean, it looks so cute. It looks so cute with them sitting there just holding. And then the second she moved, you saw the cat reach out like, why are you moving your leg? Put your leg back. And then when the dog did put her leg back, the cat swatted her 3 times. I was like, you don't have to be like that. She didn't do anything. Oh, boy. Oh. Put new scales on my PM2 today, but now the lanyard tube rattles. Any suggestions? Yeah. Take the lanyard tube out. You don't need it. The lanyard tube doesn't do anything. Matter of fact, majority of knives that I see that have those lanyard tubes, it's a Spyderco, so I guarantee if you take the lanyard tube out, you can still put a lanyard in it. And the lanyard tube on most of those knives is a spot where it's going to slam shut and it's going to hit it. I've seen so many of the, what was it? The Caribbean? Was it the Caribbean that had that? That was the one with the weird yellow and black handles. The Caribbean. Yeah. Another knife I can't stand. And it definitely did not need that lanyard tube, because every time like I sharpened it, he's like, I don't know, this weird spot. So I don't know what I got into. And I was like, oh, I think I sharpened it back. And then I closed it and I heard a tink. And I'm like, well, I got to resharpen that knife. So I took the lanyard tube out. But that's what I would recommend. Just take the lanyard tube out or glue it, possibly. A little drop of super glue never hurt anything. It's about the only thing I can think of. Good evening from Texas. Oh God, I want to move to Texas so bad. I want to move to Texas. That way I have that protection from YouTube. I could sue them and shit for lost wages and income. Must be talking about CRK. No, we're not. We were talking about definitely a Spyderco. So Caribbean had that salt resistant steel would scratch just by looking at it. Some of them did. The one I had did not. The one I sharpened did not. Sobik scooter. Nope. Different. So, I mean, that would be my recommendation. I mean, sometimes it's just that simple. Just a little drop of glue. It could just be that it's not down as flush. Aftermarket scales, in my experience, there have only been a couple that I've ever seen that were really, really good. The ones that Chris over at Cerberus Knives makes are Really, really awesome. He took the time to figure the plus minus so that his scales fit almost every Spyderco out there, because Spyderco's, I mean, all knives, there's a little bit of a plus minus on aligning things. And when you're making scales aftermarket, if you're only basing it, he took some time to give himself some leeway. And he's only ever had like one set, I think, one or two sets that came out that just did not fit. And so you take your knife apart, wrap some dental floss around the lanyard, and then cover the floss. It's not the lanyard, it's the lanyard tube. We don't talk about firearms here, Steve. We don't. It gets YouTube definitely gets weird about that. So we don't talk about pew-pews here. What do you think of a sharpening on a belt grinder? It's the worst fucking thing you can do. It's the worst thing you can do for a knife. You wind up overheating it. If you don't know how fast, if you don't have a good speed control, you should absolutely not sharpen anything on a belt grinder. That's why I hate that work sharp. I hate it. I understand that some people are like, oh, it's not going that fast. I was like, it doesn't have to be going that fast. For two reasons. One, it's taken off much more material than you need to. Like, you can't control the amount of material you're taking off on a belt sander, even though that works sharp. You can't. It's taken off more material than you ever expect. And then when you're doing it by hand, freehand, or on a fixtured system, you're in much more control of what is being done on that blade, how much material is being removed, how much heat is being introduced, which if you're doing it by hand is none. So, it's just, I don't like them. I don't like the idea of them. I have to say that the companies that they're doing it from the factory, they're doing a pretty good job of it. I'm not going to lie. The edge that was on this was really good. This is still the factory edge. I still have not sharpened it. It is unusual for me not to immediately sharpen a knife, but when I felt the edge that was on this, I'm like, yep, that didn't need to be sharpened. I have not had a dull Kaiser, Cansep, or Civivi. I have had dull Wee knives though, and I don't know what's different. I don't know what the difference is, but I've had a few Wee knives that from the factory just didn't feel sharp. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought that I loved it's on my workbench. I was carrying it earlier today. I thought I loved that hinderer, but then I got to start cutting some things, and it's so much thicker behind the edge than other stuff I've been carrying. And so in comparison, I put that knife down and went and grabbed this because I was like, this is just not doing what I want. And I went over and it just was on the shelf. So the knives that I want to carry go up on a shelf here in the garage. And then I put them back in my pocket in the evening, like my Norseman and this, because I really do like this knife. So that should tell you how much I like this knife, Jared, if you're watching. But yeah, I reached over onto the shelf and grabbed this because I was trying to cut something out of some plastic, and I was like, man, it's so thick. And it's not that it's dull, because it's absolutely sharp, but it was just like, I couldn't get it to do what I want. So That's not to initiate a political conversation. I'm just saying. Take that at face value. Yeah, it's over here. Hang on, so let me go get it. I was trying to cut something out of some fairly thin plastic wrap because I had gotten an Amazon package, and it's not dull. It's a pretty sharp knife. But for as nice as this is, and as much as I like this, it just doesn't cut as well as some of the other things. Oh no, I won't ever double sharpen. It was such a nightmare trying to keep that even and consistent because, man, it was a nightmare. They were really sharp though. I do like this though. It is a comfortable little knife. It was in my pocket all day today. I'm going to do, I still have to edit the first impressions on it. So the first impressions video is still on the hard drive that's over on my computer. A Tormek. Tormek is a completely different animal. Tormek is a water-cooled grinder, real similar to a water wheel like you'd see on a farm. Those are fine. The Tormek isn't a grinder. It's going at a super slow speed. It's an actual stone, and it's completely water cooled. So it's a completely different animal. So I thought about getting one just to see, but then I saw the price, and I'm like, and I've watched people do it. And I'm like, it's really not any faster than what I do right now. And I'm like, why don't I just keep doing what I'm doing? Like, why throw that much more cost? Somebody was like, you should get a Tormek, and then you could do this, and you could chart, you could make that money back. And I'm like, Hander Firetack's been through a ton of cardboard. Yeah, that's the next thing. I'm going to get it out and carry it too. I really haven't been, but I shot a first impressions of this on Saturday, and I haven't edited it. It's on that hard drive over there on the workbench. That's the other thing. I don't leave my hard drive connected. That's what happened. It was like it was reading and writing, and then there was a crash, and I didn't realize that when I turned my computer on the next morning, it was still mid crash, and I kept trying to do it, and kept trying to do it, and kept trying to do it, and then it erased everything on it. I was watching a Microtech interview on their YouTube channel, how Tony Marfione sharpens, and how many Microtech employees do. Not a diehard fanboy of them, but it was cool to see. I love Tony. If you design a Benchmade allergy, if you design a Benchmade allergy one play material in the material to one. Okay, I know I have dyslexia, but please tell me that that's not just me. If you design a Benchmade allergy one play material in the material to one, someone please tell me I'm not just, tell me it's not just me. Okay, so cool. It's not just me. Like, I got nothing. I know that I have subscribers in other countries. It may just be a translation error. Whew. Okay, if I designed a Benchmade bug out, what material would you use? Sorry. Okay. Here's what I would do. Yeah, there's nothing I could do for the bug out. I'm sorry. It's it's so, I just had someone send me a picture of a bug out today and they're like, man, I got this. This thing feels like garbage. And I was like, oh, the worst knife from one of the worst companies. And it's not that they're a bad company. Benchmade just, like I said, I don't know why I keep saying that, but the fact is I don't like the bug out. And I just really don't think there's any way I could make a bug out that would appeal to me. Maybe that one I'm holding out. There's one that, there is one that Zach has that I'm hoping to see here in a couple weeks at Blade Show West, and it's that aluminum. I'm sorry, it's the aluminum handled one, and he says it seems to be pretty nice. I'm not a fan of the bug out. It just feels cheap. It feels flimsy. It feels thin. It feels underwhelming. Now he said that that aluminum one is way better, but like I don't know. I'd have to say that I would have to have micarta scales. It'd have to be a little bit thicker, steel liner. You could keep the axis lock. I know that some people like, I don't hate the axis lock. I'm not a super big fan of the axis lock, but the blade stock, it'd have to be, I don't know, maybe a little thicker on the blade stock. The bug out seems to me to be too thin. If you could build a Koenig, I wouldn't change anything about the Koenig Arius. I just can't carry it because that big area that for most people is like 2 fingers, for me is like 1.5 fingers, and it's cramped. And I feel like when I hold on to it, it just feels like my hand is pushed right up into the flipper tab, and it's uncomfortable for me. I wouldn't change anything on the Arius. Saw Dutch Bushcraft Knives review a new one, and it pounded it pretty good. It looks like Tony used 3 steps. All on Burr King's course belt finishing and what looked like an MDF belt. Buffing wheel made me think it was he probably did 3 different grits and then finished it on a paper wheel. It's the same thing that Bob Terzola does, and it gives you a ridiculous edge. That paper wheel, I don't think it's an MDF buffing wheel. I think it is a paper wheel, and he just finishes it with no buffing compound. It's just on the paper. That gives you an exceptionally crisp edge. It really, really does. I'd like to get one, but unfortunately, I'd have to get the right kind of grinder for it. I can't make it fit my grinder here at the house. But it does. I've watched Bob do it, and it gives you a insanely crisp edge. And it cleans that burr up really well. So I would imagine there's a lot of knife makers that's how they do it. It's on a paper wheel. Because you can get away with like, it doesn't buff it. It doesn't burnish it out because it's abrasive enough that you don't lose the tooth, but it's also fine enough that it cleans that up and polishes a little bit without burnishing it. Like you can do the same thing on a leather strop belt, like a 2x72 leather strop belt. You can get away with it, but it's just not the same. It doesn't feel the same. That still burnishes the edges a lot. Rubicon says, I know what you mean. No, and don't get me wrong. The Arius is an incredibly nice knife. I wish that it fit my hand better. I really do. I love that knife. It's such a good knife. I would say almost a perfect blade shape. The action on it is so incredibly smooth. Great big detent ball. So you get that super free flow because you have a big detent ball, which means that you can have lighter lock bar tension. And the radius on that lock bar is just perfect. So that even though that lock bar is a little bit less tight, it's it still drops over nice. So you get a really, really, really tight lockup, even though the lock bar tension is not too bad. Hey, what's up, buddy? Did you put a video up today? I didn't get any notifications. So what you get is you've got a kind of a soft lock bar tension. So your detent is a little soft. You have a huge detent ball, which still lets you have really good action because that detent ball is in there deep, but it doesn't have to be as much lock bar tension. So you get a really, really smooth fall shut action. Bro, I didn't get any, and I looked and it tells me that you didn't put up the last video. I don't get any notifications from your channel. 2 videos. You put up 2 videos. I get nothing from your channel. Nothing. I don't get and I have it set for all notifications. And I was getting everything until just recently. If it wasn't for the fact that I know when your lives are, I would never catch your lives. I never get notifications anymore. I don't know what's going on. But I didn't even get that in the last 48 hours. I think we're gonna have to put Jared in timeout. Should we do that? Should I put the user in timeout? Watch this. This is what I'm gonna have to do because he's in here bragging. I put Jared in timeout. Let's see what he has to say when he comes back. I honestly put Jared in timeout. Jared, you're in timeout. Neves was blocked for 5 minutes. I can't call it back. You have to wait for 5 minutes. Guys, like I said earlier, if you're just coming in, if you missed it, there's a whole 10-minute video of me and my buddy Jason at the very beginning of this it deletes his comments. Oh no. Don't you come on my channel and start bragging about how many fucking views you got. Oh, I'm playing, Jared. When you can come back here in a minute. I'm surprised I'm not getting texts. Am I getting texts? Oops. That's right. I put you in fucking timeout. I just texted Jared. I've been trying to create a freehand system that gives me the results like paper wheel, but I get what you mean. Nothing is really like a paper wheel. But Jared just texted me back. The damn corner. See, that's the fun shit. So I guarantee he's gonna do that shit. If he's smart, he'll do it to me because it's funny. I'll tell you, I use newspaper a lot these days on a lot of stuff. You kind of get the same feel. You really, really do. If you want to buy a CRK, what website? There's a lot of places you can buy a Chris Reeve knives, but the best place if you're just trying to get a Sebenza, the best place I've found, and the place that I point people to is knifeart.com. Because there'll be a lot of stuff. There'll be a lot of times that you can't find them other places, and they'll still have some. They're one of the more well-known ones, and a lot of times they have the ones that are harder to find, like the micarta ones, the carbon fiber inlaid ones, things like that. And I don't mean they're full of micarta. Micarta inlays. He'll do it to you hard in a live feed, Mike. I mean, do we have to say it that way, Aiden? That's awful provocative. It's awful kind of like sexual. What you're throwing it out? It sounds like you've been in. What it sounds like is he's gonna bend me over a fucking pinball machine in the back part of a bar. That sounds scary. We already established he likes reach arounds. I bet he's sitting there and he's like, I can't wait. He's got one in the chamber. He's like, oh, I'm so dropping one when I get back in. So my buddy Richard, call him Animal, because well he's from Ohio. Who is from Ohio? Oh, me? Yeah, I'm from Ohio. What is going on out there? Oh, my neighbor's car got. So my neighbor parks in front of his house just like we do, and I guess somebody got upset, and they towed both of his cars. Hey, what's up, Peter? They towed both of this dude's cars from on the street from in front of his house. He parks like we do in front of his garage, but he also has a spot on the street where he can park. And they towed the car there and his other one down the street, and they were legally parked. And I'm like, uh-oh. And he's mad, and he was like, did you guys see a tow truck? And I was like, yeah, I saw a tow truck, and his name is Tony. And this truck has been in front of his house and had a flat tire and shit. I see a guy pumping up the tire and hooking it to drive off. And I was like, oh, no, I don't think they were repos. And I was like, but it said Tony's Towing or Tony's Auto Supply. And this guy has his own auto company. So I just assumed that he was towing his own vehicle to go work on it. Nope. Got two of them. That guy's not getting his cars repoed. He's got a Rubicon and an F-350 and a Mercedes, and my landscaper next door has a Porsche, and they have a BMW, a brand new Silverado, a brand new Lexus, and things like that. So my buddy's on the, hey, look, Jared's back. So my buddy's a detective, and he was like, I told him where I lived. And he was like, oh, down on Del Bardo and San Isidro. I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh, you don't have to worry about crime down there. I was like, really? Why? And he goes, and that's cartel country. I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, it's an unwritten thing. The cops know it. And it's, it's the lesser of two evils. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, the cartels, all the people, like the cartel folks and their families live in these neighborhoods. And he's like, we understand that. And the fact is, that the fact that they're there keeps crime to a minimum. And I'm like, so you guys know? And he goes, yeah, we know. He's like, but they're not like actively doing anything in the neighborhoods. There's really nothing for us to do. And the fact that they're there, they don't want crime in their neighborhood. So the word gets out, stay the fuck out of these neighborhoods. So we leave them be. And they keep crime to a minimum in their neighborhoods. And I'm like, okay, I'm good with that. I mean, literally, my landscaper, the guy that mows my yard and waters my plants and does all the edging and trimming of the rose bushes and all that stuff, is right across. And he has a Porsche Carrera Turbo convertible in his garage right next to his shitty Toyota work truck. And he mows everyone's yards in the neighborhood, and everybody's got really nice fucking cars. So I was in Baptist school as a child. I'm used to the corner. Yeah. That's unfair coming on here knowing I'm struggling. I'm on that path to 10,000 slowly. 2 to 6 subscribers a week. Trying to climb that. You're up there fucking, get like 3,000 subscribers a day and shit. And you're gonna come on here and tell me that you put up the video, got 1,300 views. I want to put you back in timeout. You ain't even said nothing yet. I'm kidding. I'm happy for you. I just wish I could figure out what I got to do. I was going to tell you, out of all those knives you sent me, hey, hold on. What? No, listen. No, don't. Hey, hold on. Hold on, wait. What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't like the weak height fin, Jared. I don't. Like, I went through it again to film the video when I went through the original, all that stuff, and then I filmed the big package you sent me, refilmed it. I don't like the weak height fin. Hold on, wait. What, Jared? What are you trying to do? Did you text me? Are you texting me something? It's not just that. It's too narrow. It's too small. And no, the bearings are all fucked up. It's like the bearings aren't completely concentric and round. They rattle, and it just feels, it just feels, it doesn't feel good. Pocket clip's horrible. Knives are personal. We don't have to like the same thing. I know. I'm just saying, like, I don't, but that is honestly the first Wii knife that I've ever had come in that I'm like, I don't like it at all. Like, I'm like, how do I not like this? I was like, oh, I think I like, no, I don't. Like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's a good looking knife. And then I held it and I was like, I don't like anything about this. I don't. Ooh. Oh, hey, that's empty. So, what were you going to tell me, Jared? You said, wait. And then you didn't tell me anything. Oh, I got a warning. About guidelines, which is why we're back to the jug. I don't know. I don't know if I've got that kind of time in my life. Jared, are you still here? I thought it had good action, but I could see it being anything, especially as a lightweight. It's just dimensionally it feels strange, especially with that weird pocket clip. I just don't want to go back in timeout. It's I don't know. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hang on a second. Don't save that. Don't do that. Sorry. Hey, Jared, check your inbox. I sent you a link. I wanted to ask you about something. So the Shane. I mean, I like a lot. Hey, Murky, I was just talking about we did movie night on Saturday. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Did you, Murky? Did you finish watching? Quigley Down Under? Because it's a very good movie. Oh, I got a warning and had to take some things out of video. I had a warning about consumption of beverages. Email. Consumption of beverages in a video. So we're back to using the mug. And I knew better. Those big cans they're what I have right now. So it won't be long. I only got like 15 more minutes. I want to run this. Jared, I've damn near a what? Blow cow? I've never blown cow. That sounds disgusting. I was hoping because of advertising. No. It's not that. I actually had to, there was a couple things I had to do. Yeah, I sent you a link to come on. If you don't want to, that's fine. I just thought I'd send it. They had said send it to you. I've had it happen before where like you get with Jared and I, when we did the video, when it was me and Jared and we were just talking, I had put some stuff up on the screen and I actually had to take it out because they were not going to allow me to monetize it. And you guys, I put the drag racing stuff in. Yeah, Jared, if you don't want to, that's fine. I just figured I'd send it to you. Last time. Oh, yeah, I do remember we looked at the Blocal. We now blackout. So, but it was one of those things that were like, yeah, absolutely, Jared. I'm telling you, if you don't want to come on, you don't have to. That's fine. We can just do this. I just thought I would send it in case you wanted to. Peter. Yeah, Peter's here. I need to do an evening where I'm coming. Give me two. Like I said, you don't have to. Honestly, I just thought it would be fun. We should have Peter come on too, but it gets crazy when we have more than one person on. Guys, I would ask that you go back and watch the beginning of this again, because there's a lot of people that just showed up. There's a GoFundMe for my friend Clint. He actually was in a really bad accident. He was riding his motorcycle. He got hit at speed. He was stopped and a truck hit him at about 60 miles an hour. He lost his leg above the knee. And so there's a link to a GoFundMe for him in the description. So if you get a chance to follow that, we can do that. I'll tell you what, let's get it set up so we can just put you on the podcast, Peter. My email is in the description of my videos, Peter. So get you and your wife. Just do it all together. You and Women Carry Knives. But this week for the podcast, we got Aaron Frederick. So you guys know that's going to be rough. So, but at any rate, so there's a GoFundMe. If you guys can't donate to the GoFundMe for Clinton Bell, that's down below in the description, I'd appreciate it if you could at least share it. He's a really, really good dude. I met him and immediately understood why him and my friend Jason are like best friends. So WCK. Yeah, Women Carry Knives will steal the show. I remember meeting Peter and his wife up at I was at the Wii table. I was actually working the Wii booth that day when I got to meet them. It was the first day of No, it was the second day of Blade West. I was working the Wii booth that day. We had just released the Stonefish. Man, that was a lot of fun. I'm working the artisan table this time. I just found out that my buddy Rich might be stopping by. Animal. Yeah, it was 2019, Blade West Day 2. And we went back to the hotel that night. And then got drunk and then went back to the show for the Sunday. And then, I have a Neves Knives devices not connected notification. It says they will need to connect their microphone, and he's gone. Sup, Todd? Been listening, but was eating. Guys, I'm so sleepy. So you guys are going to be there. You definitely have to stop by. Did you see the COOF pandemic requirements? You got to have a COOF card. And I'm like, you got to be fucking. I hate going up to LA. I hate it up there. Like down here, no one fucking cares. Not a soul. No one gives a shit. Been looking for a premium slender EDC flipper with good blade steel and shape similar to a CRKT CEO or Civivi Chronic. Where the hell is where is Dave? Dave? Bueller. How is it we got 31 people now? How many likes we got, guys? I haven't been watching. Somebody check them likes for me. Blade West is like Blade Show for losers. I have a feeling that we should tell Shane that he can shove that up his nose sideways. 33 likes, 6 dislikes. 6 dislikes even. Well, hey. That's cool. See 34. Hey, man, you know what? Dislikes? You know how the YouTube algorithm counts them? The same as they count likes. I really don't care. I don't get upset that people send me dislikes. I get upset that people send me dislikes and I can't get an answer as to what they didn't like. It's probably because I blocked them at some point. God, this knife is so sharp, but it doesn't cut. I'm like, it's such an enigma. Where are you guys going to like the stream? Shows people are watching. Well, hey, it's still an interaction. And that's all YouTube cares. People don't like you, it's an interaction. People do like you, it's an interaction. 2 girls, 1 cup. Ew. You're the kind of guy that share a spit cup. And for those of you that dip, you know that sharing a spit cup is like ass to mouth. You just don't do it. Blech. What movie did we end with? We finished. So Nico, I sent him a link just so there was someone there, so I wasn't watching a movie by myself. Because I definitely partook in the Devil Lettuce that day. And so the guys that were watching can tell you it was definitely interesting. So Aiden for the cam girl bell. God, I've had a migraine all day. They got me ringing a bell. There he is.
What's up, man? I was having some trouble getting in here.
Did you get lost?
Yeah, man. For some reason, my mic and camera wouldn't work. I got about probably 20 minutes on the battery. What the fuck is up?
That's about all I was thinking about running. I was like, I'm tired. Ooh, what's that?
Man, this thing is sweet. This is a new Kubi. It's brand new. They just dropped it.
I saw. Okay, so I saw a screenshot that you put up.
I know you don't like the Arius, but it's very different than the Arius. Obviously, the game was way different, but,
okay, so
it kind of reminds me of
has
it.
Always been that, like, it's got a big open area in it,
right?
And that just kind of pushes my hand down in it.
Yeah, I got one in for sharpening.
I love the Arius. It's a great knife. It's just like for everyone else in the world, I would say it is nigh on perfect.
Right.
But for somebody with hands my size and a couple of other people both agreed, it's.
No, I met a few people that that are the same way, that for some reason they do not like it at all.
It's the way that handle is shaped. It just forces my hand down in an uncomfortable position.
But this
one, like the shape of that.
This one has the flipper tab. If you see how higher it is than the center of the pivot, the detent and the flipping action, it's just like you can't fail it. I mean, it's just so well tuned. But because that's positioned so high, the detent is perfectly tuned for the reverse flick. This hole is really nice. The ergos, it is a little bit blocky, but it's still, man, it winds up being very comfortable. You don't feel the clip. It's a good one. It's a damn good one.
Hey, Steve, the reason they're so hard to find is basically CRK was shut down for a little while
Oh, let me turn
because of the COOF pandemic. They had a hard time running the line. And so there wasn't a lot of production. Now they're back up and running and they're playing catch up. So
You're talking about Chris Reeve?
yeah, there's just not that many out there right now. They just haven't. And they were trying to dial in some of the little issues that people had with the Sabenza 31 when they first came out. That
There was some issues. Yeah.
There was some issue. And so with those two things combined, there's just not that many of them out there right
They've had some other issues too. And I'm not like talking crap or anything, but like the factory, I don't know if maybe they were just overwhelmed with the sun like helping out or running stuff right now, but I've heard from a bunch of people that just had issue after issue with
they switched to a brand new lock design on that knife,
right,
They
new
switched to a
steel.
steel.
New steel.
Now you can't say that it's a Tim thing because Tim really doesn't run it. Tim
I'm not like blaming it on him. I'm just saying
Chris Reeve's been gone for several years, so it's not a new thing that Chris isn't there. It's just
I think I was basically just saying because of them doing new things and also maybe him not used to maybe switching everything up like they did, because remember they started using a new steel, the new lock on the Sabenzas, and just so many different things that I don't know how many people wound up getting the wrong steel on their knife. That was an issue, and it wasn't just one or two.
It was listed as S45, but it was only S35.
Yeah, and they didn't know until they took it apart.
Well, here's what happens. I've seen that happen with other companies. I'm not going to call any out, but I have friends that at this point, I know a lot of people that own knife companies are like, yeah, bro, we sent out an entire run and had it marked as this steel and had to reach out to like 60 people.
Yeah.
A run of 60 knives and had to reach out to 60 people and tell them like, we didn't give you the right steel. We will give you your money back. And but he said like everybody was cool. They're like, no, man, we get it. Mistakes happen. And what happened was it was a matter of 2 shipments of steel came in for 2 different knives and somebody unloaded it and mismarked it, which
well, the one good thing is that it's Chris Reeve knives. So you really don't have to worry. If something happens, they'll fix it. They'll make it right. So it's one of those things where it's like, shit, if it was another company, like then it would be an issue because then you'd probably have an issue getting a hold of them. You'd have an issue sending it in and then fixing it and all. It's Chris Reeves. They'll take care of it. You ain't got to worry about shit.
Ben said Spartan had the same issue too. I remember that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Spartan did, and I don't think that they got a lot out, but they got some out and had to reach out and say, "Hey, we may have screwed up.
We messed up. Whoops."
Now, so the reason I wanted you to come on is I wanted to talk to you about these Two Sons knives you sent me.
Okay, I sent you 2, right?
You sent me 3.
3,
and all of them. Okay, so, and I have this in my hand as a reference. See, like this knife has that downward cutting angle. Yep. All 3 of the Two Sons you sent me.
I know.
I'm like, why does the blade sweep up and in hand? I'm like, I don't like this at all.
I know.
I have to figure out. I've got to try and figure out how I may not even do videos, but I know you're trying to give me some Two Sons, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And when I first looked at them, I was like, yeah, this is great. Even that one I sent you with like the clip point Bowie style blade, it's like that.
But that one, the tip faces down though. So
no, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Which
one are you talking about? The one you already sent back to me? The one I sent you a while back?
No.
Oh.
No, one of the 3 you just sent me. Like, all 3 you sent me. I'm like,
third one I sent you. I know I sent you the 301 and the 305.
You sent me the
integral. Yeah, the integral. That one faces down.
No, it doesn't.
It's a worn
cliff. You got it in hand, you can absolutely feel that knife comes up.
It's a worn cliff.
It still comes up.
You're talking about the handle. The handle has a sway back handle.
Yeah, and that puts the blade up. The other 2, like I'm like, why are the blades backwards?
I don't know what you're talking about. The one I know where you're going with that, like with the 305, because the 305 actually kind of goes upward, which that's the way it was intentionally made. If you look at the first edition of that, I forget the number it was, but it was similar, and they made it just longer and better. And the quality of the knife is insane. Now the other one, the 301, that one has a clip point blade, and it just has a straight handle with a clip point blade. So, and I think that knife is amazing.
Yeah, but from the pivot, like if you look at it from the pivot, instead of it being level, from the pivot, the center line of that blade comes up at an angle, and so you're like,
are you talking about the tip?
Here, I'll show you.
Because it's a clip point. It's a clip point, so it goes upward.
I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the 301 is so comfortable. I wish I could click these damn messages.
Which one do you want to see?
No, I can see them. I was just just so they know I'm talking to them. It's nice because you can pull them up and then they know you're specifically talking to them. But go ahead.
Hang on.
But yeah, it is very comfortable. The 301 is super comfortable. The action is insane. The build quality is insane, and it's like 12,000. I forget what it is behind the edge, but it's super thin. Yeah, that one is the one I would understand that you're saying that.
Okay, so that one, yeah, that one definitely does. But is it this one? I'm trying to find it. And it's
take your time.
In this big box of shit that you sent me. It's not shit. I shouldn't say that. Not shit. Okay, so this one. But it does the same thing.
Oh, I love that one.
So from the handle, it's the angle, the center line of this knife is at an upward angle. And you can definitely feel it I can definitely feel it when I cut, that's way up from what I normally would want that angle at, which is.
Well, to me, it's just a clip point blade. The handle's straight, so it's got neutral ergos. That's what I like about it. And then the tip isn't. It's a clip point, so it's not going to be made for like utility cutting. But the belly and the geometry for slicing, use it to cut with it. I'm telling you, cut with it. You'll be.
It's at an angle. It just feels weird.
But I'm just telling you, if just carry it and use it, if you can't get used to it, whatever. But. I'm gonna give it a fair shot. I mean, hell, I don't think I put an edge on it though, so I don't know. You might have to tune
one
it.
One of them felt like it needed an edge.
I bet you a bunch of them did because I didn't.
There's some grind issues with that last one, the clip point.
Mm-hmm.
You can see where there's like as you look down the edge, like down the bevel, you can see some like spots
on the edge.
At the very apex on the bevel, not on the edge, on the actual blade. Like you can see where the belt maybe had a little hiccup in it.
Yeah.
And it took out and I thought what it looked like was somebody had put it in had really went to town on it.
It's one of the complaints that I have with some of their steels. They do that satin finish, and that satin finish is so fine that you can see every fucking detail, and it winds up being bad. And that's why now a lot of them are being stonewashed, which hides all that and it looks beautiful. But when they do that level of satin, it's fingerprinty. I mean, you can't even fucking touch it.
When I would sharpen that, you remember we were talking about knife makers talking about how when you hand sharpen a knife,
you can feel it,
how you can see it, how good the guy that ground it, how good he was on the belt.
Yeah, I'm
going to tell you right now, I'm going to sharpen that knife and I'm going to be able to feel and see all those little inconsistencies that it was bad. There was an incident with grinding.
So
I would have found it sharpening.
I've sharpened a ton of Tucson's and they're usually pretty good, but those ones like that are super thin behind the edge, it seems like you got to put a couple edges on them before.
It's really easy to get and it's always one hand is better than the other, and so that's why it looks really good on one side. And then there's some hiccups on the other. I don't care how many knives you've ground. I've ground hundreds of knives at this point. I'm telling you, you still do it.
I would imagine. Yeah, so, I would definitely imagine. And and then when you put that type of satin on there, it brings it.
What'd you do to your finger?
I cut it.
Are you talking about your finger or your thumb?
My thumb. Which one?
I knew about that. Fuck, I thought you did something else.
I
was going to revel in it. But he hurt himself again. Yes.
Yeah. What's new? Yeah, I said this to a guy. A guy made a comment. I think it was yesterday or today. He said, "Man, you got a lot of cuts on your hands." He says, "But I guess you are a knife reviewer." I said, "Well, let me ask you this: Would you trust a knife reviewer that has office fresh, polished hands? Like it's like, are you gonna trust that guy? Or are you gonna trust the guy who's got a couple cuts on his hands?"
I was gonna say I've got several.
Well, yeah, you got working hands. You can see it's clear as day, and that was my point. Like,
Yeah.
do you trust the guy? Like, if I'm gonna say how good this knife works, right? How good this knife is. Are you gonna trust the guy who looks like he's been on a computer all day typing in an office, who has like fresh hands? You can see working hands when you look at them. Or you're gonna trust the guy who actually looks like he uses a tool, for a job, because there is a difference. And I'm not talking shit about anybody with soft baby hands. I don't give a shit. It was just a joke, but
Yeah.
But sometimes it comes with the territory. When you use dozens of knives every day, every week,
I
you're
honestly
gonna get cut sometimes.
I haven't cut myself like anything major but
Yeah,
you
this
don't
ain't
see
major.
The whole thing is you don't see them because I've had some shit going on my shoulder. I haven't sharpened a knife in a little while.
Yeah,
I was telling you, I was
the
taking
shoulder.
I was taking my pew in the house, and I dropped it on the concrete, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on with my arm?" Like I had a hold of it, I know I had it, and just I hear it clatter onto the ground. I was like, "What in the fuck is going on?"
You're not getting grip, or
I've got the grip. It just feels like I've got it, and I can't tell that I don't. Like I don't have very much. Like all week this week, I've had almost no feeling in this hand.
That's the next thing I was going to ask you. What's the
Yeah,
sensitivity level on your hands?
It's like from like about here, maybe like down from here down. It's just like, and when I rub here, like I've got when something itches, like I can feel, my fingers tingle. So
do you have nerve damage?
Yeah, I've had like 4 shoulder surgeries.
Yeah,
I only have like 80% of my collarbone left. They cut my collarbone out to relieve pressure inside the joint. And I've had my bicep reattached. I had the lateral tendon reattached to hold it in place. And like when I sit, you can see it. So like this shoulder, see how it looks so much different than the other one?
Yeah, it looks like it's dropped.
Well, it does drop. And the fact, like, I've got no feeling in his hand right now. Like it's almost like it's, how when you lay on it and it goes to sleep?
Yeah, definitely.
That's how my whole arm feels. And then I've had cramps in like my shoulders and biceps and triceps. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I don't know if I slept wrong and really pinched that nerve, or
does any sort of physical therapy help with it?
I see a physical therapist.
I'm just curious, like if there's like motions that you can do on a daily, regular basis.
There's not much else we can do with it. It is what it is. I'm just hoping it's not like I'm just
permanent.
I'm hoping that I just didn't get something in position where now it's just permanent nerve damage. Like I just can't
that would
feel it
suck.
That would suck. And the other thing is, certain things I do, the Grazioso, when I put this in my hand and I flip it, it hurts.
Ooh.
Like when I flip the Grazioso.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing is I've been flipping the Grazioso with my
your thumb. It's funny because I do that sometimes when my hands are kind of fucked up. Let me ask you this. Do you think that if it is permanent, let's say it's permanent, do you think you could get used to it to a point that you'd be fine with it? Meaning like if you got used to just squeezing things a certain way and being, making sure you're secure.
So after the last surgery, I had like 3 or 4 months where I had to like mentally remember, but like I've got to hold something a little tighter.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I've got it. And it's not that I don't have the grip strength, because I have one of those strength meters, and I still have the same grip strength. It's just like I grab it and it feels like I have it, and then it's just not there. Like I dropped my keys twice today. I dropped my phone. I dropped my pistol, carrying it in the house, and all that stuff. I'm like, oh,
my mother's got those issues too.
You ready for this one?
What's up?
Nathan says, ask Izzy's coach what to do for that, Mike. She doesn't know. I already talked to her. Or buy lidocaine spray. I'm allergic to lidocaine. I'm allergic to any of the numbing agents.
So he's got to take extra.
I can't take any.
That's my point. It's a joke.
Was this Todd says, know how you feel, Mike? Had to get all the nerves burnt on the left side because of neck problems.
That sucks, man.
It just
sorry
sucks.
to hear that, Todd.
It sucks trying to sleep because it just always, like, my hands are like like, you know how when your arm goes to sleep, when it starts to wake up, where it doesn't quite have 100% pins and needles.
Oh yeah.
But it's just starting to get that weird pins and needles. That's what it feels like. It's like my hand just almost is asleep.
One time I went to sleep and I was probably semi fucked up, but I went to sleep and I didn't know it, but I slept on my leg a certain way to the point to where normally, like I would feel it, wake up, realize it's numb, be irritated, whatever. But I woke up and didn't realize it at all. And I jumped straight out of bed. And at the time I had a really high bed. I literally jumped out of bed. I hit the ground like a sack of potatoes. I mean, like instantly. And then I start screaming, ah! And because like it went from
it hurts.
It went to sheer, I mean, like insane pain, like extreme pain, but I couldn't move it or feel it. Like, it's like, I can't feel it. Like, I can't feel it this way, but I feel it inside just going crazy, like all the nerves.
Yeah.
And I couldn't walk. I tried to stand back up to go walking. Bam, right back onto the ground. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm rolling around the ground like a fish. And
it hurts so
I never
bad.
had that. But I never had it like that. So when it happens, you're like, what the hell is going? What am I doing? What's wrong with me? I can't fucking walk.
Dude, I have a buddy.
It sucked, man. It sucked.
I have a buddy. We went to his place. This is when I was in Japan. We went to his place. He got drunk as shit on his birthday. And he fell down.
Mm-hmm.
And he went upstairs. He's like, guys, I'm so drunk. I gotta go to bed. Like he was just barely conscious.
Yeah.
And so I went back to my place because at the time I wasn't drinking all that much at that time because I had so much stuff going on. I was working at the ordnance facility like 6 days a week. I was the ordnance ammunition distribution and control officer. Even though I wasn't an officer, I was basically the officer, the second in charge at the ordnance facility. And so I had, it's a Friday night. I had to be at work on Saturday to sign a bunch of paperwork and all this stuff. And so this dude, I get a call and they're like, hey man, remember when Ruben fell last night? I was like, yeah. He goes, motherfucker broke his leg. I was like, bullshit. And they're like, no, man, we got him at the base hospital right now. His legs broke as shit. And I was like, nah.
Wow.
And I was like,
fuck. He didn't know though? Like he didn't realize it?
Like he said, oh yeah, my leg hurts a little bit. He was limping on it.
Yeah.
And fucker woke up like his leg was swole up, like somebody had like he was wearing sweatpants. It looked like somebody shoved a fuck. He broke one of the legs in the bones in the lower part of his leg.
Oh shit.
Like the shin.
Yeah.
And so like he was wearing sweatpants because we're all drinking and bullshit. It was his birthday, just hanging out. He broke his leg. It's like they're like,
you're still numb.
It looked like somebody shoved a basketball down his pant leg. And it was like they had to cut his pants to get him off of him.
When I sprained my neck, I fell through a roof, or not a roof, a ceiling. I was up on top of a loft, and some of it was sheeted, some of it wasn't, and I wound up falling through into a cubicle onto a desk, and the lady working at the desk, she thought there were like robbers coming through the ceiling. So she fucking takes off running, thinking like, they're coming through the ceiling, like all crazy. And I went,
let's go run. You better fucking help me. I think I broke my neck.
Well, I fell through, and the joists wound up going against my back, just like all the way up, took the skin all the way off my back. And I was all fucked up, but I was still okay, right? Next day, I wasn't gonna work. I was up all night long, never went to sleep. The next morning, my partner comes and gets me. I was like, man, I can't work, man. I haven't went to sleep. Like, I'm all fucked up from yesterday. He's like, oh man, I need your help. You got to come. So I went going to work, right? Worked most of the day, came home, and then went to sleep and woke up, and my neck was sprained. I had whiplash basically. So, it doesn't kick in until you relax. So
I had whiplash once. I had a car accident. I know what you're talking about.
I was stuck looking to the right for 2 weeks straight everywhere I went. like this, and there was nothing I could do.
I was like this, like my head was like at an angle.
Yeah.
And I was doing this shit. And everybody was like, what happened to you? I was like, I had a car accident over the weekend. They're like my neck was fucking frozen.
Yeah. So
And
was mine. I was just like this. Literally, you'd be driving down the
muscle
street,
relaxers and
I
shit.
can't even look at you.
Bro, I was on muscle relaxers forever. Like my neck was like locked. And I'm like, this really fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I couldn't drive. My wife had to drive me to and from work.
Oh, yeah. You can't do anything. Me, like, if just moving, like when I woke up, even though I was stuck like this, when I woke up, my entire body locked up and I hit the ground. And I actually called my cousin Breeze, and he was going to call in the ambulance, but I don't like going to the hospital, but I wound up just relaxing. But every time I moved, like I could just move and this is like over the first couple days, just moving my toe.
It's on here every once in a while.
Yeah. I was actually working for his dad and his company doing concrete, and but I wound up going to the emergency room because literally, like, just moving my toe, like it just the pain shot all the way up to my neck, and it was like paralyzing. And that's when they told me, like, yep, you got a sprained neck. And it's like, well, what can we do? Nothing.
Here's a neck brace.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't because I was stuck, so they couldn't do that.
Well, if
it would have been sprained forward, then I could have. But since it was sprained this way, there was nothing they could do.
So my wife thought it would be a good idea because my neck was locked, and she's like, "Well, let me try it." She's like, "Trust me," and she was like massaging my neck. She didn't tell me she was gonna do this, and she tried to like straighten my neck out.
Oh, fuck that!
Like I went, oh
yeah.
And I literally pissed my pants.
That to me right now, like knowing what I know about mine, like I feel like that would just kill you. It would just kill you. like you might as well just die because
I like fell out of I fell off the couch and I laid on the floor and just kind of shook and I peed myself.
There's nothing you could. Oh, it's so painful. Like it's a pain that it's very hard to explain. It's like literally like your whole body being almost electrocuted.
Okay,
like, internally.
I can explain it quite clearly. It hurt so bad, I pissed my pants.
I believe it. I
mean, what else do you have to say? There's just not much else.
Yeah.
So no, I just wanted to ask you about those Tucsons. Why the blades were on them backwards?
Like I said, I think the one you could say it because that was actually one of my complaints with it is that it kind of goes upward.
It's swung around, and I'm like, I don't know, because they kind of both have that.
It does feel weird. Well, the other one, I don't personally feel like the other one has it, but the 305, I agree, definitely does that. And it took me a little bit to get used to. I had a
second opinion. I asked someone else. I'm like, does it feel like that to you? And he goes, oh yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Well, to me, like I said, the 301 doesn't feel like that, but the 305 for sure does. And I said that in my review that was one of my complaints, that it feels weird because of that reason. But I also said, though, but using it, I really enjoyed using it. The build is very solid. There's lots of great qualities about it.
I'll give it a shot. The only knife that was in that entire box that you sent me I didn't like was the kite fin, which is insane because I have never had a Wii knife that I did not like. And I'm like, I don't like it. And it's not just the fact it's thin, the pocket clip. Like when you like the bearings rattle, I'm like, why are the bearings not round?
I didn't notice the bearings really rattling. I guess you can feel the bearings. Like it's not like say this Wii right here where you don't feel anything. This almost feels like it's on washers. It's so smooth. It almost doesn't even make sense. Like it literally feels like Teflon. That's the kind of bearing action that is like the best. The type of bearing action that almost feels like it's washers.
Which is what you always get from Wii Knife Company.
Check out this Shiro Goroff. This is one of Dave Warren's.
Ooh.
Yeah, so got some fat carbon on it.
Okay, listen.
Beautiful.
You ready?
I got one of those Koenig Arises.
Listen. Hear the.
I mean, yeah, I know. I said I know you can kind of hear the bearings in it.
You can hear them and feel them, and then
yeah,
not a fan. We'll see. I'll give it a fair shake.
Well, I mean, fuck you usually know if you don't like something pretty quick. But I guess there has been a couple knives that I thought I didn't like, and
there has to be. Eventually, there has to be a Wii knife I don't like. Just like there has to be.
That's true.
I mean, they're not like Emerson where I just don't like anything.
Right. Yeah, we knife. It is kind of tough to like even the ones like that. I think they're not really my style. I still can't deny that they're not fucking great knives. They do such a good job.
Yeah, I think you're right. This one is because the handle's a sway back handle.
Yeah.
You're right. It is
Mhm.
straight. It just feels strange.
Yeah.
I like this.
Some people love swayback. Some people don't. On that one, I like it because you have that choil. You
Yeah.
can really grip up. But that one, it's an integral, but it's like the easiest knife ever to disassemble or take apart. It has a window on the side of it. You can literally just slide everything in all at once. It's really like it's so easy, it's insane. And it has so many different forms of deployment. Oh fuck! All right, my battery's gonna die.
Battery's dead. Yeah, well,
I'll give it until it dies. It's okay.
I'm gonna get off of here when you get done too.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask you about those. And I was like, didn't even have, Mike will someday find a Spyderco he likes. Chances are slim, but not impossible.
See, I want to think.
I actually love the Spyderco Endura. I really do. I
don't know why you don't.
I've owned so many.
Where is it? Right here.
What?
I don't know why you're not a huge fan, or maybe you haven't tried one. Maybe I should send one to you. But the XL, in particular, the XL, not the regular one, the XL Manix 2. It's large and in charge, super smooth. I mean, these things are just amazing. The lockup is so solid.
I've never liked them. I've tried the Manix. I've tried.
Have you tried the XL though?
I haven't, but it wasn't ever that. It wasn't handle or anything. I have to say, I like the handle on the Shaman, which is why I like that TRM Shadow so fucking much.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, I love the Endura series of knives. I like the Police. I like the Delica.
I agree. Those are good.
Those are really super good knives. I just don't think they're worth the price anymore.
Okay, but I think I need to send you an XL. I think I need to send you an XL Manix and just have you give it a shot. Fucking give it some use, try it out. Because I honestly think that because of the handle, because it doesn't look neutral, but it winds up becoming really good in the hand. You always have that choil, but it's really slicey. I mean, especially for a big knife, nice tall flat grind, but to me, it's in the drop point blade. I mean, it's just so useful.
I'll give it a shot. You know me. I mean, if I can admit when I like something, even if it's
right.
Out,
and if you don't,
I love my 940. I love my Benchmade 940, and typically I tell Benchmade where to shove it. I have actually seen a couple of really nice. I've seen a couple of really nice Emerson customs.
Really.
That I have a couple of people that have sent me pictures of some of the Emerson customs, and Ernie's customs, I still don't think they're worth what people pay for them. But they definitely are nice. And
they're better than the production.
Oh yeah. I mean, by far they're customs. I mean, they're not like when you think of like what you're thinking of like a custom, like when you were like Jim Skelton.
No, I'm not. I'm thinking of like an Emerson,
like a Gavco or something like that. They're not like that,
right?
But they're still really good.
Yeah.
But the fact is, I don't think that Ernie charges what Gavco charges for a full custom.
Well, do you know what they cost?
No, I mean I haven't looked at the prices for Emerson knives in years.
I bet you haven't.
but I have to admit that like I like some of their knives. That CQC, like the blade that's on that CQC 15, the mini CQC 15.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous. I said it in the video. It's like Butterface. Everything here is great, and then they put it in this piece of shit handle. Like if they had just done the little bit of extra and contoured some stuff and made it a little bit more comfortable, the knife would be great. Because it isn't attractive, that Tonto recurve. It's a really swept recurve with a nice round front and then to a clip Tonto point. It really is attractive. And the blade was done really well. Even though it's like they're weird, like a V ground blade with only a chisel ground edge.
Mm-hmm.
It's really executed well. Which one is that?
The 122. Dwayne's asking about it. Yeah, so
that's the Kubi.
I think it's coming out in November. Has 2 new models that are So attractive. And they're two the same miles. One's a drop point and one has a recurved tanto. Same knife, just two different blade shapes you could get. I'm getting one. I'm 100% getting one. They look so badass. The only thing is I can't decide which one I want because the recurved tanto looks so fucking sweet. And I don't even like recurved tantos that much. But I mean, sometimes I do. It just depends. But that one,
I used to say that.
I know, like I said, some of them I do really like, but when they're done right, I do. But a lot of knives don't do them right. But in this case, this thing looks sick. It looks so badass. It almost has like a razel front, and then a recurve, and then the drop point is just a regular drop point. But man, it looks so sweet.
I wanted to tell you something. We're talking about Kubi knives. So I went on and I was looking at that Kubi Raven.
Yeah,
the one that you sent me that I did the video on that I said looked like Groot's penis. Yeah. I saw that same knife.
Yeah.
In olive drab and satin, and I'm like, okay, that knife looks fucking cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know what about it. It looked so good in that black on black, but when you look at it with the satin,
I thought the same
green, I'm like, that does not even appeal. It looks fucking cheap. Like
there's a lot of knives like that. I think that when I see them in certain colors,
I would definitely pay $50 for it.
All right.
The one I saw,
it's a $50 knife all day.
The one that was green and satin, I was like, no, I wouldn't even buy that. That just looks like a $10 knife.
Yeah, it's weird how
it's the same fucking knife. It's the same knife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of weird how colors kind of play with you like that. It's not going to be here for a few weeks, but the new Megaron knife. So I think there's still some of these ones in stock. But these ones are sold out. They'll be back in 70 days for everybody. But this one, though, I
was watching your video about that one while I was in the shower.
I have a 3.5-inch version with a satin blade, tan G10, and I think it has blue liners. But it looks pretty sweet, so I'm pretty excited about that one. Because this one, man, it's a solid knife. It kind of reminds me of like the Stinger, the Ferrum Forge Stinger. But this is big, though. This is like a 4-inch, almost a 4-inch blade.
Yeah.
I think you like that one.
I don't care how useful they are. I'll never own one. More for you guys, I feel about
what, Emerson?
No, I think he's talking about Tontos.
Oh. I mean, to each their own, There's a blade shape out there for everybody.
I really, really like more like the traditional Japanese style Tonto.
Okay. I like them all. I do.
Like a Sponto. Like a Sponto is more of a traditional Tonto where you have I have a true Tonto dagger. It's a really, really old one. It's the one that my mother-in-law carried at her wedding. My wife carried at our wedding. It's going to be my daughter's. I have one. It's been in the family. And it's a little clutch dagger. And it's for that purpose. And it's a true Tonto where you have thick blade. It comes up. It's got a little arrow, and then it comes down, just like one of my actual samurai swords. The that I have, they have the true thick.
Kind of like that, but with the Tonto.
Yeah, with that change in the angle, and you can definitely feel the change in the dimensioning where it comes down and it starts to thin to a point. Mm-hmm. I really, really like those. They're really functional. They give you a really strong piercing tip with a robust blade and things like that.
So I love them all. But I think if I was going to say my favorite one for EDC would be the American Tonto with the little bit more of a pronounced tip. But I still love the Japanese one. Like that's what I got most of is the Japanese ones because that tip, like you said, it's robust where you can use it heavy duty, but then still have a slicey edge and the knife is still robust. So I do like that. And I also like one thing I like about them too, is that the spine thickness if that's the type of knife you're wanting, one with a more robust tip, you get the spine thickness all the way out to the tip.
Yeah. All the way up to the tip. And then it just comes down.
Right.
So the knife that I have that is really, really similar to a Japanese style Tonto is the Wii 601. That one where the blade is the same thickness all the way down. The angle on the edge is all the same. And then it just comes down and you can see that edge bevel widen up at the
Right,
tip.
right.
That is, you will never break that knife.
Right.
If you break the tip off that knife, you fucking done something.
Right.
Like something wrong. You've done something wrong.
I got let's see if I can get it out here. I got this one. I know you tried the NV2, but this one's the NV1 if I can find it. The NV1, and this is a Japanese Tanto, and it's thick, but it's a little bit different. It's more it's like a mixture, right? But
Yeah.
it's got nice
Yeah.
wedge at the tip, but it's got a little bit more of a pronounced tip right here. But yeah, straight back, round front end, but
That's
it
the
is
Tuya,
nice.
right?
And
That's the Tuya NV2.
the NV1.
NV1.
They only made 100 of these.
I talked with Dave because Dave and I are friends. I talked to
Yeah.
Dave about that knife. I do like that. It's a nice looking knife.
That's when they did the DW2, which was the drop point version. That's the one you tried, was the 2, which is the hollow ground. It's a dual ground drop point blade with a nice hollow on the flat side. But yeah, this thing is sweet. Like I said, they only made 100 of these, and
yeah, I know. That's what I was saying.
It's so
Dave and I
badass.
talked about that one because all I got to see was the NV2,
right.
which is the hollow ground one. He was like, "Yeah, I wish I had one that I could send you because and Jared went bye-byes. Jared's camera died. So well, guys, it's been 2 hours and 26 minutes. I didn't plan on having a guest in. But I've got a half a glass of stuff. Well, I guess I'm back to the comments again. That's all right, Jared. We love you anyway. Jared, I was telling everybody, Aaron Frederick is going to be in on Friday for the podcast. And I mean, he truly is, God damn it, the inspiration for PDM. He said that, okay, so what was this? He needs to have plugged in. He said that when he's got it plugged in, he gets interference and it gives a hum or a buzz or something. I mean, it's my podcast or it's my YouTube channel. I like, come on, that's what you're worried about. But bye, Jared, dead camera boy. Jared, thanks. That Kubi, thanks for sharing. When it plugs in, it makes my mic squeal. It doesn't make me squeal. Why are you calling me your mic? That's Jared. These aren't the things that we tell people in public. These are just our things. God, I hope that I can get knife companies to start sending me stuff like they do other knife reviewers, because it would make my life so much easier. I wouldn't have to rely on Jared for content. I feel bad that Jared has to send me stuff like every few weeks for me to be able to maintain content. And the fact is, like, I would like to have content that's different than Jared's, but take what I can get. What is this? Yeah, Johnny, don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what we're. I really like the K2 Tonto. That's another one, that React K2. I had one. I wish I'd held on to it. It definitely was a very, very good knife, and I sold it for way less than I should have. It's worth way more now. I was like, man, if I just sat on that one for a couple years, man, I could have bought something nice. Not sure what the difference is between CPM D2 and regular D2. One is powdered and one is not, Johnny. There's your difference. One is a powdered metallurgy and one ain't. That'll be $25. Yeah, K2 is great. Was this Kershaw has a dividend in the composite blade? I never got into those composite blades. I never really understood them. They were kind of silly and weird looking. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think I like it. I'm not 100% sure. It's like orange chocolate. Like, I don't know. Sweet. So what's better? I'd say go with the old D2 because the old D2 takes a better edge, in my opinion, at a higher grit. But you know, it just depends. It depends on you. Like, hey, steel is steel. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, I would say play around with it and see which one's to your liking. Unless you just don't want to buy two. You really want to know? Buy a couple cheap knives. Buy the QSP Penguin in D2, and then buy another knife in CPM D2, and then you can see. It almost looks like it could break off and separate it. I think it was just a flash in the pan kind of thing. People did those blades, and then they looked cool, but I mean, really, what was the big difference? It's not like replaceable runners on skates or anything like that. I mean, it was just weird. I really don't understand so you guys, in case you don't know what I'm talking about, here, let's pull it up. Composite blades. Composite blade knife. There was a few of them that came out, and they had these weird composite blades. So what it was they were two different, oh, damn it. There was two different steels that were somehow electrically welded together. I'm trying to find the one this is the one I'm thinking of, the Leak. So basically there was this. Okay, I'm going to show you. I don't, Chrome tab. Kershaw Leak. So this is what the blades looked like. And I'm like, I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what the process was 100%, but that looks like copper connecting two pieces of steel is what it looked like to me. And I'm like, I don't know. There's other ways of doing that. So you have the clad and things like that, but it gave it a unique look, but I really don't. I think they had initially said it was a cost saving thing because they could have a cheaper back and then a much more expensive blade steel at the front. But my thing is, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, where you get, it's called bimetallic corrosion. So two different materials that in a saltwater environment, things like that, they start to exchange ions and they basically form their own electrical charge discharge thing. And so what happens is at that connection point in the presence of salt and moisture, it's going to start sharing ions, and aluminum and steel is a good example. You get bimetallic corrosion where just in the presence of salt water, when exposed, they start to break down because one strips electrical ions from the other, and then you get a breakdown. Well, basically what you've got is two dissimilar metals in a blade that's in your pocket, which is being exposed to sweat. Do you see where I'm going with this? You're going to get bimetallic. You're going to get bimetallic corrosion. So steel, copper, dissimilar metals. Yeah, but like what I'm talking about is at the weld points. So you reach a point on the ship where you have a steel deck and then aluminum bulkheads to save weight. And you've got steel meeting and they're welded together. And at that point, you get bimetallic corrosion where the aluminum starts to break down and things like that. So zinc plate exchangers, heat exchangers on the ship. Same kind of thing. So in your pocket, you're going to kind of have the same thing because salt coming from your sweat and things like that, it's what you're going to have. So bimetallic corrosion, that was always my concern with those. Copper forms a patina, and then it kind of stops that. It forms like an intermediate layer where the oxide layer has formed and things like that. I just don't know how that will work in direct contact and things like that while in salt water, which is sweat. Sweat is salty water that your body makes. So what was this? Stern's drives will corrode completely if you have zinc. If you some have zincs. Okay, cue ball, it's your turn in the hot seat. Stern drives will corrode if you some have zincs. I want a little clarification on this one. I'm not the only one that says that doesn't make sense, right? Hands up for those that agree. Not 100% sure on that one. Don't know. Don't what? What? I'm not picking. I'm not being mean. I'm just asking a question. Hey, you guys are like, don't. Stern drives on boats will corrode if you don't install zincs. I got you. There you go. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're right. We had, my dad bought a fishing boat and it had a mercury outboard and it had a big zinc cathode on it. There we go. I got it. I got it this time. I got it. And I know what it was. It was for, there you go. Zines. I thought that's what you meant, but I didn't know. And I just wanted some clarification. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't having a hard time reading it. We've already established that when I have alcohol, my dyslexia gets worse. Guys, I have to refinish this. Can you see all that? So for anybody that doesn't think, everybody's like, he doesn't use these knives. It's safe queens. You see all that scratching? See all that? Let's see if I can find it on this side. Can I show you the, I don't know. It's really pronounced on this side. The hot water tanks and zinc also. Yeah. My dad said there were zinc plates in the bottom of the ship. There's zinc plates everywhere. You got to get them put in. We just talked about that the other day. The bars that go in the hot water tanks are zinc also, unless you have a gas. If you have an electric, okay, so if you have an electric hot water heater, yes, they definitely have a zinc cathode or something in it. If you have, I know, I love it so much. I need to retumble it. I want to restone bosch it just to get rid of. There's some scratching. Where's it at? Now I can't find it. There it is. There's some scratches on it up in this area here. And then there's some linear scratches down in here. I just want it to be consistent. You know what? He's doing that because he knows I won't put him in timeout this late into the video. You better start tagging me in videos, like mentions, not just putting a link, like actually mentions at Michael Emler. Dickhead. Mention you in all my videos. It's in the description. I hate you. Get out of here. I don't want to look at you anymore. Just, peace sign. I don't want to look at you. Sit back here and pout. It looks better when it's pretty. I got news for you. It doesn't matter. This thing cuts great. I don't care if it's pretty or not. I got you. I promise. Sure. Guys, it's been 2.5 hours. I think I'm gonna get off of here. I really do. It's been 2 hours and 40 minutes. Jared, I'm kidding. I know you got me, bro. You take care of me. Jared, the only reason you guys have so much content is because Jared has provided me with so much stuff. I mean, box after box after box of stuff. Sent me the first. Hey! Thank you, sir. I can't wait till you and your wife can come out here sometime. That would be great. Another thumbs down. Okay, who did it? Who cares? Joke them if they can't take a fuck. You know what? If somebody doesn't like my content, they don't like my content. It's cool. I'm good with it. I don't take it personal. When I take shit personal is when people start making threatening comments towards other subscribers. You guys want to see something? Jared sent me the first hinderer that I can honestly say I really like. I do like the fire tack, but it's so much different than any other hinderer. Not at all saying like, Jeremy, I don't want you to think that I don't like that fire tack. But this is the first hinderer like an XM18 that I really can get behind and like. I just wish it's so thick. I just wish it was thinner behind the edge. I just want to love it for everything. And I'm not gonna lie, it's comfortable. It really is comfortable. So I actually used it a good bit. It just doesn't cut the way I want. Like, I say that, but I used to carry a knife really, really, really similar to this. My Fahrenheit Gentac is really thick, and I used it, and I carried it, and I cut with it. So I'm gonna carry this for a bit, and I'll give it a review. Anybody get the splint in yet? No, I haven't. What's the splint? Wait, what am I missing? Splint? Who makes it? When is Aaron going to be on? Friday. I talked to him for a little bit on Saturday. Called him Saturday. I talked to him on the phone. You see that new scale blade and fades installed in his Warthog? No, I didn't. I like the scales on this. I like this micarta that's on here. It's so well done. Splint made by Kaiser. Oh. Aaron's going to be on Friday. I talked to him Saturday. He said he's good with it. I just have to keep him in the loop. It's going to be fun. I may actually get some of the Irish apple juice to have on hand. And I may have to have an on-screen moderator just to keep us on track. I don't know. I have someone in mind that can be the referee, because I need someone that can keep me and Aaron in check. And I already have a sneaking suspicion I know how this is going to go. He's like, this was his exact words. He's like, well, what time? And I was like, well, I usually go at 7:30 my time. He's like, 7:30 your time. Oh, hell, that's like 10:30 my time. He's like, I just had to remember not to get drunk that day. And he's like, I was like, why do I have a sneaking suspicion that you're just going to get drunk and stay that way? He goes, you know me, it's a chance. It's a probability. It's probably going to happen. I was like, oh boy, is this going to be interesting? So that was his exact words. He's like, well, that's like 10:30 my time. I don't mind on a Friday. I don't work Saturday. He's like, that'd be fine. I can do that. He's like, I just had to remember not to get drunk. And then there was a pause. And I was like, you're going to get drunk anyway, aren't you? And he goes, it could happen. So you guys are in for a fucking treat, because like I said, Aaron is my spirit animal. Aaron is 100% who I personified when I made PDM the first time. It was Aaron Frederick. Like I had already met Aaron, and I'm like, well, that's my Poor Decision Mike right there. That's what Poor Decision Mike has to sound like and act like. And I was like, and as a matter of fact, it's really not that far off. So, man, I love that dude. What is Aaron's channel? Aaron doesn't have a channel really yet. So Aaron does a lot of forging and things like that. And I've been giving him some points. He's like, man, I wish I'd listen. I wish I'd started a channel like you did and I could show what I'm doing. I was like, it's really hard for him because Aaron's a one-man show. And there would be a lot of stuff that would just be long, drawn out stuff of him power forward. So I told him he needs to just like kind of set up a couple, like get like 3 old iPhones and just set up a bunch of different camera angles that catch the stuff he's doing, and then just speed all that stuff up and edit it together. That's what I told him. Like pick what's best, pick what angle's best for what it's individual shot, and speed it up, and then just do some voiceovers. And he's like, well, I don't know. I was like, if I can teach myself how to do this shit, he can teach himself how to do this. He's not a dummy. He's a very, very intelligent man. I think the Viper's getting dull. I don't know what you could have done to make your Viper dull. I don't think it is. I think you're full of shit, Murky. He does Instagram. It's Aaron Frederick Knives on Instagram, and I ain't gonna lie to you, he's just one of the best human beings out there. He's a goofball. He's a drunk. He's a lot of fun. He's a back-ass hillbilly like me, but he is just literally one of the best people in the fucking world. So you guys are in for a treat on Friday. I really, really, really love Aaron. I ain't gonna lie to you. We did the same job at the same time at the same unit. We both fell under expeditionary combat. He was on the East Coast. I was on the West Coast. We did the same fucking job at the same time, at the same unit, under the same parent command, Spec War. And I'm like, and then we get to meet at the show. And the first time we meet, we're at a show, and his wife walks up, and she had walked away. I hadn't got to meet her yet. And Missy walks up, and she's like, she hears me, and she hears Aaron, and she looks at Aaron, she looks at me, she hears us talking, and she goes, God damn it, there's fucking 2 of you. Murky was like, I think I was joking. I figured you were. It's sharpening that is not, God damn, that's a fucking chore and a half to fucking sharpen one of those. Those basically get a fresh belt edge and then get stropped real good. That's basically the only thing you can do with those. They are so stupid hard, and there's so much surface you cannot do them. As a matter of fact, that one that Big Red EDC showed the other night, that was the last one I hand sharpened. Guys, it's almost 3 hours. I got to get off here. Guys, I got to get off here. I love you all. Like, I seriously, if I don't get off here, we're going to be still talking until like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And I can't do that. I'm getting old. I love you guys. Go follow the GoFundMe for my buddy Clint down below. Like I said, he's still in the hospital. He's had 7 surgeries since the accident. I like him a lot. He's a good dude. He's my friend Jason's best friend in the world. If you can't donate to the GoFundMe, just share it. Please share it with everyone you can. Same thing. Share my channel with everyone you think would like it. Just share everything. Like that's just how it's been. So that's just how it goes. You just got to share stuff. And please, guys, please don't get upset when I do things for the paying members. There are 51 people that pay me. I had a few people complain that there are things that get done. They're like, well, you're doing all this for the paying members. And I'm like, yeah. And I actually had one guy that emailed me and laid all of this stuff. And he was like, well, this and that. And then I can go back through records of everything that's been done on the channel. I can go back years. And the people that I got that complained It's like, well, I've supported your channel since this time and this time. Never once. Did they provide to a GoFundMe? Never once did they provide any of those things. So the people that are willing to throw some stuff, and I'm not throwing shade on anyone, I'm just saying, like, I have to acknowledge the folks that make it possible for everyone else to get free stuff. Like, everyone else gets free content. The people that you see that have the little logos next to their names make that shit possible. So, guys, please don't get upset when I do special things for them. Guys, I love you all. I'll talk to you later. Have a good evening. I'm out. It's Monday. It's Monday, and I feel like this. I'm like, oh, it's got to be like Saturday, right? Friday. Tomorrow I can just sleep. No, I'm just starting my week. So much filming to do. See you guys.